Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elena and welcome. Let's start with this review of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. These are episodes 7, 8, and 9. Yes, you heard me. Girl, it's been so long since I've done a review. I just wasn't in the mood to record whatsoever, especially edit the videos thus after. But I'm back and we're going to review them and we're going to try and summarize what happened in the last 3 weeks. But quite frankly, they've been feeling a little bit like filler episodes here and there. I felt that TLC has been stretching out people's storyline in order to prolong the season as long as they can, which is getting quite frustrating, but hey, whatever. Let's start off with Kenny and Armando. I keep calling him Kenny like he's my best friend when really his name was Kenneth, but whatever, we're gonna do it. So Kenneth has now arrived in Mexico from his long ass journey from Florida, which I could never do that. I also hate driving. Anyway, he's there. Armando has made the house a home for them and they're lovingly with each other, and I loved it to see them all together and booed up, and I'm really rooting for this couple. Now we did get to see a little bit of Kenneth being a bit of a your stereotypical American who's expecting American things even though he's not in America, which always boggles my mind. I understand sometimes it's a bit of a culture shock, it's not getting used to it, and this time Kenny is realizing that he's living there, indefinitely versus, visiting. So Kenneth and Armando are walking around the neighborhood trying to get used to it. They're trying to explore and eat candy and go visit the shops and buy stuff, and Kenneth's just like, ew, 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 it's not Florida, it's not Florida, it's not Florida. Like, girl, you're not in Florida, you're in Mexico now. Like, I'm sorry. They're at a restaurant, they're trying to order food, and he had the nerve to ask Armando what kind of food they serve here. Hello, what do you think? Freaking Mexican. He doesn't want to eat the candy, he's too germy. When he goes to the freaking store to buy some water, Armando's trying to explain very basic arithmetic to Kenny about the conversion from pesos to dollar, and Kenneth was just like, you know what I mean with that white lady who's trying to do the math? That's what I was doing all that time. I was so confused because listen, I have traveled abroad and there's definitely times where I can't speak the language, but I can still feel confident enough by myself to go to a store and purchase a bottle of water without freaking the fuck out, but whatever. So Kenny's also trying to hold Armando's hand as they're walking about, and Armando doesn't want to do it. He's very reserved. He doesn't want to ruffle anyone's feathers in the neighborhood. He's not sure how they're gonna react to them in the neighborhood. Although personally speaking, if I see two men constantly hanging around all the time with a daughter, I can only assume that they're together, but I guess if no PDA is happening, people will reserve their judgment. And I understand that Kenneth is used to if he does receive a slur, it's nothing, it's water off a duck's back. But with Armando, he mentioned to Kenny that, listen, don't feel rejected, I just am getting used to being a proud gay man. He has been in the closet for such a long time, whereas Kenneth, quite frankly, has been pretty much accepted since the minute he came out and had a great life for how many plus years, 20, 30 plus years. So I'm glad they had a conversation. It seems as if Kenny understood what Armando was coming from and they're able to work through that. I hopefully it's resolved and he's not freaking out. But they had a little cute moment and they kissed and I was like, oh my god, so cute. Ah. But I loved it. I really hope for the best for them, and if this is their drama, then so be it. I don't think we need to have some crazy ass storyline or people being assholes like Angela or Lisa or Andre in order for us to watch. I know it's juicier, but sometimes it's a breath of fresh air to see a couple that actually cares and support and love each other. What a shocker. Our next couple is Tim and Melissa. I really hope I'm saying Melissa's name correctly. I have been butchering her name quite often since the minute she's been on the show, but I'm sorry, girlfriend, I just don't know how to pronounce it. Also, your segment with Tim is so boring to me. Anyway, Tim is coming to Colombia to move with Melissa. We finally meet her. I think she's really pretty, nice, a hardworking woman. Her mother's the only person that knows about Tim's infidelity, so the mom does not see it for Tim. Understandable, but I don't know. Apparently it's been 1 year since the cheatation, so I'm looking at Melissa like, are we gonna let it go? Not to say it wasn't wrong. I'm sure she's heartbroken, buy that, because it's someone you love, so someone you're imagining to spend the rest of your life, and you are making the active effort to move to the States for him. And Melissa doesn't seem pressed to be in the States, so I think that was a sacrifice for her to go there. And for him to cheat on you, like, girl, have you lost your fucking mind? But if you're going to continue the relationship with him, that does require forgiving him and not holding it over his head. And that's what I felt like during this episode. Tim arrived, she picks him up in a compact car. Oh my Lord, have mercy. Not only is it a compact car, but with 2 dogs. I am 5'9", and that car gave me anxiety. And so for her to have Tim like squish his body, his 6-foot frame into that vehicle was ridiculous. Then they're having dinner, and she wants him to, or lunch, and she wants him to explain word for word, in grave detail, damn, write a fucking novel, will you, about how he came to cheating. And I'm sitting here wondering why. It's been a year since then. I'm sure you received that information already. I personally think this is for the cameras, in order to hash it up again and, you know, give us drama, because they're so fucking boring. But Tim is getting frustrated by it. They already been through it, like, how many times must I fucking say it? And then he did say something interesting when he invited the girl over. He wasn't expecting to fuck her, and I was like, yo, shut up, Tim, shut up. Listen, if there's somebody who I'm giving a little Google eyes at work or wherever, and I decided to invite them to my place, clearly I want something to happen. It may not be sex, it may not be, maybe some dick sucking, I don't know, maybe some like kissing, I'm not sure. But when you have a little flirtation going on with somebody and it's just the 2 of you in your house, comfortable with some food and drinks, I'm just saying, what are you expecting? Don't play me with that bullshit. So I felt Melissa on that. But again, it's been a year. You decided to continue the relationship. Let's move on. I think Melissa would benefit joining Tim in therapy. That should have been a couples therapy session, and not just for Tim. It shouldn't be Tim working out his issues. It should be Melissa working out their issues, because you clearly still are hung up on it, and it's just not fair to you or Tim to sit here and ponder over the same as basic information. We get it. He cheated. We get it. Okay, the next couple is Ariella and Benyam. I really find Baby to be endearing. I think he's super cute in terms of how he treats Ariella. I really do think that he loves her and he appreciates her. Unfortunately, those apartments are not up to par to Ariella's standards. And granted, listen, I think I mentioned, I'm not sure if I uploaded this video or not, but I mentioned that house that Baby got her was my grandmother's house, so I would probably be used to it, but I wouldn't want it. So I'm not against Ariella like looking at it like, girl, I can't stay here, because I wouldn't either. But let us face it, Baby has like 20 million jobs doing God knows what, singing, fighting, dancing, all these jobs that don't make a lot of money on their own. So I just find those apartments to be more in line with his budget, so I'm very confused as to why she's confused. Anyway, the mother lets them move into her Airbnb or a hotel, a hostel, whatever the fuck, and they go to a hospital to check out the grounds and see if it's up to standards for Ariella to give birth. That irritated me though. They're acting like, is there some statistics out there that just shows that Ethiopia has the lowest birth rates, or perhaps they have the highest like death through birth? I want to know where's all this coming from. I get that you don't envision this to be the most high-tech facility on the planet, but they're acting as if nobody on the fucking planet is able to give birth healthily, as if all the babies are just dying and like Ethiopia just a dying race. It's fucking not. Like, people give birth. So the mom is so surprised they have medical supplies. Just like, wow, it's clean, wow, it's sanitized, wow, you have this medicine, wow, you're an actual fucking hospital. I wonder if this was like a predominantly white country. Like, what if it's like Moldova? That where Andre's from? Or Russia? Like, the facilities, the way that it looks aesthetically speaking is similar to that hospital that God, what was her name? Emily gave birth to Sasha's baby and 90 Day Fiancé. So I'm just not understanding. I just wonder, like, if she would if it's like a poor, quote unquote poor but white country, will that stigma she has against him still be there? Will she still like be able to like criticize everything? Anyway, I just wonder. It just came out very ignorant. Like, people are able to, they're not in the backwoods giving birth. Like, get the fuck out of here. So clearly she can't use a hospital as an excuse to bring Ariella back to the States. So she wants to use baby as the excuse. So when they're having lunch, they're trying to discuss about baby and ex-wife. Now, I 100% agree that the mama should ask questions. She needs to ask these questions, and quite frankly, I think any parent will want to know. So what happened with the ex-wife? Especially when you hear details such as she was white, an American, had a baby, baby's gone, back in the States, divorced. What's going on? I need details. But my issue with the conversation is that I felt the mother was trying really hard to do a I got you moment with baby, and she was trying to catch him in a lie, whereas baby's trying so hard to fucking keep up with the conversation and translate his thoughts into English, and he's really focused on that and trying to explain himself and not come across as like some sleazeball. And so there's one point where she asked him about the wife, and he mentioned that the wife looked into his phone, saw some, chats from a woman he didn't like. She accused him of cheating. He's like, nah, it's just my friend. The wife gets angry. So he apologized, and I've seen people do that, make peace with somebody, and mom is like, Ariel's mom was like, so why would you apologize if you don't feel sorry? Like, you didn't do anything to feel sorry for. That's why I apologize. And I'm looking at her like, what the fuck? Okay. So let's say baby cheated. Let's say he did. Okay. It may not be ideal. I may not like it. But at the end of the day, guess who decided to have a baby with somebody who A, cheated on his past wife, and B, hooked up with somebody they don't know? Your daughter. I'm just sitting here confused as to why you're acting as if baby is like forcing her to stay in Ethiopia, or forcing her to have this child, or forcing her to be in this relationship. He ain't doing shit but showing up and trying to be there for her and provide. I really feel like baby's trying hard, and hopefully if he did cheat on her this time around, he will actually be more mindful of that and actually cater to Ariella. And I do feel like he does love her, but I'm looking at Ariella and her mom like, yo, your daughter's fucking grown. If it turns out to be a mistake, let her make that mistake. I mean, I'm sure she I'm hoping she learns something from her 10-year marriage, but I'm also wondering if she has. But at the same time, in the confessional, we hear Ariella mention that she wasn't thinking about finances. She and baby had not discussed about how they're going to actually take care of each other and their baby. And I am looking at her like, now she's concerned that she's going to be the breadwinner of the family because baby doesn't have what it takes to take care of them. And again, I'm staring at her like, what do y'all talk about? First, you're complaining about the apartment's not up to par, and now I'm sitting here thinking, does baby not have a phone that can FaceTime with you? I mean, I'm sure he has WhatsApp. I'm sure you guys are communicating on WhatsApp. He can find Wi-Fi somewhere, and y'all can FaceTime this shit, or take pictures or something. I don't know. I just feel there's a lot of things that they have not discussed about, and their baby's coming away, and I'm getting anxiety watching this. Like, oh my god, ugh, I can't do this. I can't. Let's start off with Brittany and Yazan. Or Yazan. I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. It's Yazan. Yazan! So anyway, the last time that we were chatting on YouTube, Brittany was, freaking the fuck out with this meeting with the parents, and she ran off. She's crying in the car. The mama been cuss her ass down. Well, she didn't cuss her ass, but I mean, she kind of did. The mama came with a lot of attitude, a lot of heat, and I understood where it was coming from because you can tell that Brittany was playing them, which she is because she still is not divorced. However, I do feel that the way they spoke to her was so disgusting and degrading. Something about the mom just didn't feel right with me. It was the same way when Yazan was yelling at Brittany in the parking lot. I was like, that don't fit well with my spirit. Something about that gives me, if these cameras weren't here, I will beat your ass. Something about that. It just can't, I can talk to you and treat you any kind of way I want, and I'll never, receive any repercussions for my actions. I'm just saying. So as Brittany's passing out in the car, she's freaking out, she's crying, she's telling Yazan she would never see his parents again. I was like, good luck with that. He takes her to the apartment. I don't know if it's an Airbnb or their apartment. They're going to be together once they get married, but it's beautiful. It's really nice. I'm sure it's the apartment Ariella is dreaming of to give birth in. But they're sitting there discussing. He's trying to calm her down. She's still explaining to him that she wants time. She wants her father to come to Jordan to see her get married. I'm like, girl, cut the bullshit. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying because you're still divorced. I mean, you're still married. You're still legally married, and you cannot marry him, or him by meaning Yazan. Yazan is thinking about talking to his uncle, who seems to be this worldly man who can talk some, you know, at least speak on Brittany and Yazan's behalf to get the family to accept Brittany. So they meet the uncle, and the uncle, you know, he seems pretty cool. He's a little chill dude, and he is making some really good points, but he's also saying a thing that pretty much us, and by us I mean the viewers, have been saying, is that Brittany would have to compromise or change some of her ways in order for her to have a life with Yazan in Jordan. I don't think Brittany would need to change her life if she was in the UK, where it's like a fusion of cultures seems a little bit more accepted, or at least possible, versus her in Jordan. It just feels very strange to me that she would move to this country and expect to move the same way as she moves in Miami. Like, where do you think you're going to be taking these pictures at? This is not Dubai when you're on vacation. It might be cute for you on vacation when you go to the vacation spots, but you're not at the vacation spots. You're going to the market down the street. You're going over here and your titties out with the weaves and the makeup and all that, you know, making a styling antics, Instagram model looks. I'm not seeing how it's gonna fare well with you. It just isn't, ma. I'm sorry. And Yazan, bless his dear heart, his English is just not up to par for translating things. After that long ass back to forth conversation with his uncle, he turns to Brittany and was like, you must change a lot. And of course Brittany's like, ¿qué? I mean, I can only imagine being a crew member on TLC and just watching situations occur, because oftentimes, sometimes, as we will see later, that a lot of arguments and conflicts occur because of miscommunication, and it's easy to not understand what someone's communicating in your own language. So think about it when it's different languages. Either way, the uncle's going to talk to the dad and try to convince the father to give Brittany more time, you know, let her quote-unquote date Yazan, because that's not a thing in their culture. And so I do hope that the case will be able to figure that out, because like the uncle said, you know, you shouldn't force someone to convert to Islam. It's actually against the rule, and it should be wanted in spirit. But nothing about Brittany screams, I want to do this shit. So I'm still confused. And also, Brittany, you're still divorced. I mean, you're still married. I keep saying she's still married, so all of this work and effort and actions to me seems quite moot. It's a moot point because you're still fucking married. I think she's trying to buy her time to like make sure the divorce is finalized, but I'm not sure how that update's going. What if the ex-husband doesn't want, or he ain't no ex, he's still a husband. What if the husband doesn't want to sign the papers? Then what? Ooh, that would be some good mess. Can you imagine the husband not wanting to sign the papers? I mean, he was quote-unquote abusive, and sometimes abusive partners try their best to keep you there. Oh, I can only imagine. But it's been 5 years. Maybe not. Okay, so our last couple, my favorite couple of the season, is Devin and Jihoon. I'm going to be fair as possible as I can. I want to divide them into two and call out bullshit on either side, because there's plenty of it. I know majority of the bullshit is on Jihoon's side, but we'll get into that. So Jihoon has finished explaining to Devin that he wanted to get a part-time job so he can rest. And of course, any sane person will be livid after hearing that, especially when this person has lied to you and said that he got you and the kids and he can pay for his debt, but here he is with a part-time job so he can sleep during the day. Go fuck yourself, Jihoon. So Devin takes the kids back to the mom's hotel to ponder whether she wants to continue this relationship with Jihoon. Jihoon go back to his mama's house and explains to the mama that he lied to Devin, and she is pissed off. Ji-hun feels terrible for lying, as he should. Now the mama, however, oh my Lord have mercy. We now know, I mean we've been know, but we really see it in action how much of a bitch ass Ji-hun is because of his mother. The mother does not see anything wrong with Ji-hun lying to Devon. And that's because she don't like Devon. So whatever shitty things he does to Devon, I'm sure the mom's like, whatever. She wants to sit there with her whole ass self and claim to the world on top of her lungs that all Korean men are like that. They lie when they're younger to get these women to be their wives, and then afterwards they just deal with it. Girl, fuck you. No, they don't. No, they don't. Fuck boys exist all over. Bums exist all over. It just happens that your son is a bum, and quite frankly, you raised one. I understand it's quite common for families to live with each other, even as adults. It's not like America where when you're 18, you're like kicked out of the house. But Ji-hun needs to be kicked out of the house because he is so irresponsible. It is ridiculous. Even Ji-hun is trying to, oh my god, a fly. I got it. Oh my god. It's still alive. Even Ji-hun is trying to explain to her, like, no, I did something wrong. Like, this is not something to be fooling over with. And he starts to feel very frustrated by his actions and stupidity and begins to cry. That mama was staring at him like, men don't cry. Yes, they do. Like, who? Like, I knew she was a little bit stank, and she was giving me hints of stankness throughout the season and last season, but baby, this season she is going full throttle with it. She's acting like a stank ass bee, and I don't like it. She did, however, like, told he needs to stand up and be responsible for his actions about the debt because he's sad about that, and he needs to man up. Like, you know, perhaps don't take a part-time job. Maybe, I don't know, get a full-time job to care of that. So Devon explains to her mom that she's going to meet up with Ji-hun and his parents to figure out, like, I guess why Ji-hun decided to give his money to his mom. I mean, it seems self-explanatory. Like, he explained it well, even with his broken English, that he just wasn't responsible with the shit, so he had to give it to his mom. But I'm also wondering why it's only $3,000. Maybe that's why. But then again, he's a part-time job. I don't know. They're meeting together by all this shit. Ji-hun, oh god, it's back again. They're at a restaurant. The only person that's decent in this family is Ji-hun's daddy. He sees Devon come through. He gets up to help with the baby. The mama don't give a shit. She's stank eye. She's giving Devon the side eye. She don't want to stand up and help. She doesn't even acknowledge the baby. Like, oh my gosh, she's trash. Ji-hun's so ashamed of himself. He doesn't even look her in the eye. And Devon reads that off as rude. I don't know. I think she reads that off as negative as opposed to understanding Ji-hun's just embarrassed, but it does not set a good tone for this meeting. So they're sitting down, we're talking, the dad's trying to be nice and have like a nice air to the conversation, but it's not going to happen. Devon busts out the night's villain. I thought the mama was a villain, but clearly that fucking translator is. That little, I don't know what to call it, that translator was doing the devil's work. She's trying to ask questions. The translator seems to be doing seemingly well. But then when it's time for Ji-hun to talk and explain his side, that translator was like, you know what? I'm about to start some mess. It is doing everything within its powers to twist Ji-hun's word, which adds to the frustration. Everyone's getting really angry. No one's understanding each other. Ji-hun's literally turning fucking red. And at one point, he's like, fuck it. And just gives it the translator altogether. And then begins to just starts talking to Devon in pure Korean. No translation whatsoever. And he's getting like, he sounds very angry. Even though the words he's saying aren't directed to her in a hurtful manner, it comes across that way. Now Devon's becoming defensive and she's getting upset. She then asks about why he is putting money in the mother's account, which the father didn't know, and he apologized on behalf of Ji-hun, which I thought was really nice. But Devon doesn't want to hear it. She don't give a shit about daddy apologizing. She wants to hear what Ji-hun's going to do. So Ji-hun and the mom are having a conversation, trying to explain things. The mom starts talking. He's like, she don't understand, shut up. So they're having a little spat here and there, and then Devon just takes a translator and was like, you ruined my life. At that point, it translated and the mom hears it and just laughs in Devon's face. Devon takes offense to it, as she should have, because mama, you shouldn't be laughing by that. Go fuck yourself. You guys are in this position. You guys are having this fucking conversation because you're what? Your son's a bum. You raised a bum, bitch. Like, what the fuck? You can't sit here and laugh and snicker at Devon. I know you don't like her, but don't sit here in front like Jihoon is some fucking angel. I get it, mama. You want a Korean woman to be your daughter-in-law. I understand that people want to date, people want their children to date within their culture. But I want you to fucking find me a decent Korean woman who is willing to marry Jihoon. I'll wait. Exactly. So then when Devon then was like, do you think it's a joke? You think it's a joke? And Jihoon misinterprets that too. He's like, I'm not joking. What? And then he gets angry. He stumps off. And now everyone's looking at each other. It's like, it's very awkward and weird. The tension is so high in the sky. Oh my lord. And that translator did his job. That translator was like, today I am going to fuck shit up. And it did. So that is my review of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. This is going to be a long one, girlies. I'm sorry. I will try to do my best to get back on track and watch it regularly. I can't wait for Monday for more of the mess. TLC. Listen to me. Stop it. Stop stretching out these fucking stories for God upon end. I'm just tired of it. We don't care for Tim and Lisa. Knock them off. Give me more Brittany and Azan. I felt that their segment last week was too short. Perhaps all the juiciness is like going to be postponed to the later end of the season. I hope that's the case. I hope they're not just pulling our legs. But either way, I've enjoyed it. But Devon and Jihoon's story has been carrying the show, quite frankly. And of course, Amando and Kenneth. I just love watching, love. That is it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.